If you're thinking about buying a reMarkable but just haven't pulled the trigger yet because they're so bloody expensive, I'd like to offer a perspective that could help you in your decision process. So I've had one for something like 6 months. I've got the Paper Pro, and I love it. It's changed my life. And what I want to talk about is the gap between being purely analog, using pen and notepad, and being digital. And I've tried to do both, and there are issues I have with both of them. And this bridges that gap perfectly. So let me explain. If I take the analog method first, so a notepad and a pen, I love that, right? I love the sort of craftsmanship, getting a really nice notepad, a really nice pen, all of that. But because I'm autistic, I systemize everything. So I love organization and I love systemizing, and I find it really hard to do that with physical notebooks. And I know a lot of people do it, but I feel like they're able to just not really care about the organization and mistakes that much, whereas I have to plan ahead, and if something changes, I get really stressed out by it. So as an example, I tried to journal a couple of years ago, and I bought a book that cost about £20, a really nice leather book. I bought a new pen. It was a fountain pen that cost about £40. Then I spent about £10 buying a bottle of ink for it that I really, really wanted. And I started journaling, and I got about 3 pages in, and then I decided I didn't really want that ink anymore. And at that point I threw the book away, because I just, in my, I know it's ridiculous, but in my head I cannot continue, because things are, it's just not right. So I can't change what pen I'm using halfway through writing in a notebook. Every notebook needs to have a purpose. I can't start combining different notebooks. It just doesn't work, and I just never stick to it. And I've never ever been able to stick to it because of those reasons. It just, the system just isn't there. The system's too permanent and it's inflexible. Anyway, so on the digital side of things, I'm very much in the Google ecosystem, Google Calendar, Google Notes, tasks, all of that. And I've used that a lot over the years, just to have everything in one ecosystem, in one place. And I really like that. But I just don't use it properly, right? So I put things in my calendar, but I never open my calendar to look. I rely on them just sending me a notification. Notes, I write notes down and I never look at them again. It's just pretty pointless, really. So, and I've desperately wanted to have a system where I can write stuff down, I can journal, I can write ideas down, and get things out of my brain. And I spend a lot of time with things in my brain. I really struggle to get them out. So writing is a great way of doing that. I don't think that's some massive secret right there. So what I'm not going to do is go into a detailed review about the reMarkables, because I've only ever had one e-ink tablet, reader, notepad, whatever. And I know there are others out there, and I will not even pretend to advise anyone on which one's best. But I am aware they're a lot of money, and it took me a long time to buy it. But I thought this might be that little missing link that I need. And it is. And I think anyone out there who's autistic or just got a similar brain as me it really does fill that gap. So having a notepad that you can actually physically write on, you can have a planner, you can have a diary planner, you can buy templates, they sell loads on Etsy. You can have a catch-all notebook where you just jot stuff down, it doesn't really matter. You can have a journal, a diary, all of these different things, and you can organize them into folders, and you can move those folders around. You can take a page from one notebook and copy it into another notebook. And you've got a variety of different pens. So when I'm writing in my journal, I like to use like a calligraphy type pen. If I'm writing notes in a daily planner or weekly planner, whatever, I'll just use a ballpoint pen. So all these little things just allow it is almost like I've got a collection of notebooks that are all there for different things. I can name them what I want. I can organize them how I want, but nothing is completely permanent. So and it just works for that reason. And I spent £600 buying this, and I rarely use the color. I rarely use it for reading. I honestly, all I do is just write on it in black and white pen. That's pretty much it. I might use different types of pens every now and again, and that is the extent of it. So I do not use everything that it can do. But was it worth £600 for me? Yes, absolutely. Just because of that, because I actually use it now. So I sit down, I look at it, I look at what's coming up in the week, I write notes down. And yeah, it's great, and it makes me engage. This was the other thing that I didn't like about the digital systems, is I would never look at them, so I would never actually engage with what's coming up. Whereas with this, if you sit down and you go through, okay, what have I got on this month? And you physically write things down, you don't forget. So yeah, really, really good for stuff like that. Let's see, what have I actually got on here? So yeah, I mean, you probably can't see, but I've got all different types of folders. You're definitely not gonna be able to see if I don't show you. How about that? Right. So you probably, yeah, anyway, the point is, so I've got, personal, where I've got my diary and stuff. I've got sort of a projects folder, a folder where I just like write lists down, an archive folder where I just put old notebooks in. I've got a commonplace book. Brilliant. The best things in life aren't things. Peter McKinnon. There we go. Very, very good. I got a sketchbook as well, where I thought this will be fun. Check out this drawing that I did. Ha! Got ya. Cheeky. Right, okay. So, I think that is mostly what I wanted to get across. Oh, no, the other thing, it's a good job I write these notes down, isn't it? So the cloud service is something that a lot of people complain, because it's a subscription service and it's now £4 a month, and I don't really care for the argument too much. If you're going to spend £600 on something and you can't afford to spend £4 a month on the cloud service, just I don't know what to tell you. However, in my experience, it's absolutely brilliant, despite people moaning about it. And it works really, really well, and it syncs to your phone almost instantly. And what I've found this really useful for is writing notes. Well, obviously, you have all of your notes with you, so anywhere I go, I do take the reMarkable pretty much everywhere. But if I'm just popping into a shop or something, I can have a look on my phone, and shopping lists and all that sort of stuff will be on there, and I can look at that. Same with the calendar. So if I'm out, if I need to book an appointment, I can just go for have a look at my calendar and do it that way. So it works really, really well. And then if I might find PDF documents that I want to read, I can just send them from my phone directly to the reMarkable. It just works. It's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I 100% recommend it for someone in a similar position who struggles with pen and paper, or just gets overwhelmed by having 10 notebooks all the time and just isn't too sure, what to do with them all or how to organize them all, or someone who just does not get on with digital systems. I mean, I used Obsidian for a long time as well. Actually, no, I didn't. That was a lie. I used Obsidian for a couple of months. I thought it was absolutely amazing, but I just didn't use it. I just did not use it. So whereas with this, I use this every single day and I love it. And as a writing experience, I think it's good. I think it's really good. There is a lot of reviews out there you can go and watch. I'm not gonna give you my opinion on it, other than I think it's really good. I don't really know what to say about it. You write on it, and it doesn't feel like you're writing on a glass screen. So there you have it. Right. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Hopefully that is helpful for some people out there. If it wasn't, sorry for wasting your time. If it was, great. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Maybe I'll talk to you again soon.